Hello. This is a side show. I'm Theodore Parker, and today is Friday, September 6, 2024, and coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky. The weather here today, the high will be about 88 degrees. Currently, a little bit before sunrise, it is 67. Partly cloudy with the stray thunderstorms. And as I said, highs in the upper 80s and lows in the mid 50s. Storms possible this afternoon. And the tropics are busy as we closer to home. Sunrise today will be at 7:12 a.m., sunset at 7:59 p.m. The wind today will be about 4 miles per hour, and the AQI is good at 39. Today, pollen is high. As I said, this is a side show with Theodore Parker. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I mentioned to you that today is the start of Roots and Heritage Festival. And just so you know, as they say, there has been an announcement as to what streets here in Lexington will be closed. And this actually started yesterday, Thursday, September 5th at 11 a.m. And this will go through to Sunday at midnight. So, Elm Tree Lane between 3rd Street and 4th Street. Friday, September 6th at 7 a.m. to Sunday, September 8th at midnight. The following streets. Elm Tree Lane between Short and 4th. 3rd Street between MLK and Ohio Street. Corral Street between Spruce Street and Elm Tree Lane. 2nd Street between Spruce Street and Elm Tree Lane. Spruce Street, Gunn Street, and Noble Street will be local traffic only. Dewey Street will be local traffic only with no street parking. So that's your Be Ready advisory for the Roots and Heritage Festival in Lexington, Kentucky for 2024. One other thing before I get started on today's program, Thursday night football, game 1, first game between San Francisco and the Eagles. The score was 26-27, with San Francisco coming out with the W. But two good teams make for a good game. And did you notice, if you watched the game, that there were no penalty flags? Okay. So, getting into today's program, before I get started, I would like to make a comment that I hope we can agree will give some common ground for the rest of what I'm going to have to say. And that comment is, we have some things going on in front of us, and we have some things going on around us, and then we have some things going on with us. So I'll let that sink in for a moment or two. So yesterday I made some comments related to gun violence and mass shootings that in part were brought on by the shooting that occurred in Georgia at a high school. Since that has occurred, the father of the shooter has been arrested and charged with murder. Before that made the news, I was reading a short announcement that was directed toward universities and college students starting their semester. And it was new to me, and it was related and gave some information that I was not familiar with. So from day one, when the students report to campus, getting their rooms, assignments, and all of this type of thing, to the Thanksgiving holiday break, for university students is referred to as the red zone. And this is a period of time when most of your sexual assaults and other incidents occur, which I did not know. But what was new information to me is that we are aware that these things occur, and the new information was that even if students who have been victims of these types of incidents don't want to press charges, there are now being made support services that can give them an opportunity to express whatever concerns they have and support them in whatever they need to recover from what has happened. And that was new. So even if they don't want to press charges, they still can seek, support or help with whatever they are feeling about what happened. So, and that period, like I said, is from the first day of school to the Thanksgiving holiday, the red zone. So, if you're attending college or you have some member of your family that's attending college or university, just focus a little more, heighten your awareness, be aware of any changes or anything in attitude, disposition, or behavior. So before this, I'm just trying to give you a little timeline as to how I got to what I said yesterday. There was a shots fired report here in Lexington on Short Street. And I did not access the story or the report, and I was thinking that the Short Street that they were referring to was a local area where there are bars and grills, outdoor activities. Thursday Night Live takes place there on Cheapside. And the place that I like to visit before it closed, Creole's, was there. And they moved to 144 Broadway, and now called Melrose. And I think they opened in August, although I have not gone around there to check it. So it's like a neutral zone, DMZ, everybody's welcome, everybody has a good time. You can go from the outdoor pavilion, step into any bar that you choose to, have a drink, have something to eat. It's also an office area, not so much at night, but during the daytime, So if I want to call myself going out or going around other people, to me, that's a good spot to go to, especially since Thursday Night Live has been being presented there during the summer weeks. So when I heard that there was a shots fired report, that's the area that I thought of. But come to find out, I was saying, wow, what's going to happen next? Okay. But the article came out and it was entitled, we have that, that is all on West Short Street. And where this incident of shots fired occurred was on East Short Street. So once I got that cleared up, I was more at ease about that. Excuse me. So this article, East Short Street Shooting Investigation and Arrest, is dated back in August 13th, as a matter of fact. So on August 12th, 2022, this is the same article. And the reason for it, it says at around 2:35 p.m., officers responded to the 200 block of East Short Street near Elm Tree Lane for a report of shots fired. So just follow along with me, please. Upon arrival, officers located a vehicle that had sustained gunfire and an uninjured female victim. The suspect vehicle was located a short time later on North Broadway near Withers Avenue. Officers attempted a traffic stop, but the vehicle fled and a pursuit was not initiated. The vehicle was spotted again by officers on London Avenue, where the air support unit assisted, following the vehicle until they blew a tire on Liberty Road near Downs Avenue. After a foot pursuit, officers were able to safely make an arrest and recover a firearm. An 18-year-old was taken into custody on outstanding warrants from a previous incident and has been charged with 3 counts of wanton endangerment first degree, 2 counts fleeing or evading police first degree, and no operator's license. This person is currently detained at the Fayette County Detention Center. The investigation is still ongoing. So that's how that was cleared up for me. So when the incident hit the news about the high school shooter being 14, 4 dead, and 30 injured, I was like, excuse me, I need a drink. I'm just going to come out and say, I was saying I need a drink. And so from that point on, the last month, it was just back and forth. Well, should it be vodka or should it be bourbon? Should it be bourbon or should it be vodka? Should it be vodka or should it be bourbon? But because I was doing so many other things, I never actually got to the drink. But to help you to appreciate what it was, not that I wanted to be drunk or inebriated or pass out and don't remember my name. It was just that I wanted something to wipe the taste of all of this out of my mouth. And what I was imagining, although I was thinking bourbon, it was more like a bourbon whiskey, and the little glass, and put the ice in it halfway, pour the liquor over top of it, a little splash or two of soda, let it twirl a little bit, and just see how good, savor the flavor. Is all I had in mind, just to savor the flavor. So, I didn't get to it anyway. So around this time, a report comes up from the traffic bureau or traffic reporters that there are 3 intersections in Lexington which have had high incidents of accidents involving vehicles. And it just so happens that right now, I have to visit one of these intersections every day. So all of you new car owners, people that own vehicles that are no more than 3 years old, there's a lot of whistles and bells and things of that come with these vehicles. Proximity alerts, lane changing alerts, blind spot alerts. I happen to be driving one presently. It's just 2 years old, and I was pulling out of my parking space, and a rear camera came on, and somebody was walking behind the vehicle, and it started dinging, letting me know that somebody was behind the car. And then they appeared in the camera space. And then when they got fully past the vehicle, the alarm, went off. So in most cities, as a matter of fact, all of them, thanks to city planning, have rush hour traffic, bumper to bumper traffic, and that's usually when most fender benders occur. But there is a speed limit set. And if you travel at the speed limit, you usually can make it through 2, 3, maybe 4 traffic lights on green before you find one that turns red. But most people act like rush hour traffic is a NASCAR event. They either are riding your bumper or hitting the brakes, waiting for somebody to hit their rear bumper, or trying to dodge in and out of traffic, showing you the agility of the vehicle that they are driving. So, and here, near this intersection, the speed limit is like, that I'm describing, one of them, it's like 40 miles per hour. So I'm driving in traffic. I'm trying to maintain the 40 miles per hour, but also keep enough distance between myself and the other vehicle that there's no need to suddenly stop. I can just like drift. So it just so happened that somebody, as we got closer to downtown, somebody got on my bumper, and the attitude that I was feeling out, whether it was a man or a woman, was like they were driving a bulldozer and just wanted to plow through the traffic. Just wanted to plow through the traffic to get wherever they were going without any regard for anybody else. And then you always have the people that like to dodge lanes and jump in front of you and cut you off and all these other kind of things that occur in bumper-to-bumper rush hour traffic. So the car that I'm driving, being 2 years old, is like dinging. It's like dinging, the bells are going off because somebody's on my blind side. The lane changes and all this other kind of stuff. The car is just like alert, you know what I mean? And it crossed my mind that these advanced technological things are not challenges to your driving skill. You know, they're supposed to be revisions to facilitate safe travel. But some people do treat them like, you know, they are challenges to how they can drive and how much they can get away with. So that just occurred to me. So that's going on. So now you're back to Facebook. Okay. So since I first mentioned about being blocked out of Facebook, and in actuality I have like 3 spots over there. Excuse me. I have a spot that I had initially where all the people that I've met since I've been living in Lexington usually gather and update me on things. And to help you appreciate it, there's like one couple, excuse me, I'm sorry. When I met them, they were newly married with one child. And then since then, they now have 6 children, and the oldest children are married. So that'll give you an idea of the time. So we had that one. Then we have I have the one that came with the sideshow, and then the one that has the sideshow itself with Theodore Parker. So that's like 3 spots. And then all the people that I've met since I've been doing the sideshow on the social media pages from, you know, around the world. So when I was blocked, you know, I was like surprised. I talked about it, you know, my son was in the hospital, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it was open, and now it's blocked again. So when I pressed the button, the appeal button, and it let me know what the reason for being blocked out was, I was really surprised. Because as I said, you know, I do all the selecting, individuals that submit a friendship request, celebrities that have their fan clubs and fan base and all this type of thing. Other people offer little things they want me to join. I have one friend that has a scuba diving club, and he also works with the Boys and Girls Club, and he, you know, invited me to join there, although I never get to scuba dive with him, but it's, you know, it's good, and I accepted the invitation. But when the reason for it played off, it was using romance to acquire valuables and property. Using romance to acquire valuables and property. That was the reason that was given for me being blocked off of Facebook and Instagram and the rest of them. So I'm like, not only I'm surprised, it's just, did I forget something? You know, did I join something that I don't remember? Or, you know, what is it? You know? And then the only thing that I could like relate it to, besides imagining if everybody else is blocked off and they're receiving the same notice, especially with married couples, some young person that's still in their parents' home, you know, what kind of reaction are they giving, right? The only thing I can remember is that somebody submitted a request, a group of men, and not young guys, but older men. And they had formed a little group where they were looking for a wife. And they would post a picture of themselves and in a few sentences say where they lived and that they were interested in a wife. You know, not dating, not just having a friend, not, you know, seeing if we can get together, but I would like to get married. I'm looking for a wife, and this is where I'm at, okay? And I didn't see anything wrong with that. And that's the only thing of all the things that I've allowed that even comes close to the way this is worded, okay? So if anybody out there is listening and you've been blocked on the Facebook and you've seen that, you're just as surprised as I am, but that's the closest reason I could give for it. And that's really not an explanation. It's just, you know, me giving you a little more information. And the only other thing that I can tag it to is that, like I said earlier, it's not specifically related, but the court is once again looking at Meta in regards to Cambridge Analytica and the $736 million payout to see whether or not it has been taken care of yet. And if we are blocked, myself, including we, are blocked from that, I don't think it would affect it because that was during the Trump campaign to be elected as president when Mark Zuckerberg, you know, let him have our personal information for the purposes of his campaign. So that's the long and the short of that story. So there we are. And speaking of violence, not this summer that we're ending now, but the summer before that last year, in regards to how I spoke yesterday, in regards to Congress and things of this nature, at the time, last summer, I was saying, well, Congress has a calendar, you know, they have a way of doing things, and we cannot look as a group of people here in this country subject to gun violence from automatic weapons, look to them for help with the situation. So we are going to have to do it ourselves. We're going to have to like police ourselves. We're going to have to like maintain ourselves. We have to get a grip on it, you know, find some other conflict resolution, whatever it takes, you know, to get away from using a gun to take a life. So that summer, you know, with that in mind, I called it the summer of the big smoke out, because it's, here in Lexington, it seemed like everywhere I went outdoors, I could smell marijuana. Get on the bus, somebody would get on the bus, the marijuana would be so heavy on them, it was almost like getting a contact high. You walk on the streets, you could smell it. People would pull up to the stop light, and you could smell it coming out of the cars. It was just like marijuana smoke everywhere. And it just so happened that I had just returned to Lexington, and the Veterans Administration had a program which I had signed up for and enrolled in that had some benefits that I wanted to take advantage of. I needed. Excuse me. So part of being in the program was to be alcohol and drug free. And the Veteran Administration was not taking your word for it that you were. So I will say this, I successfully completed the program. The benefits that I was after, I did receive, I did get. So I don't have any misgivings or regrets about that. But it was a very interesting summer. So here we are just finishing this summer. And it's been close to that. And I know all of us hold gun violence close to our hearts because it affects, all of us. So reports here in Lexington, not necessarily dealing with shootings, okay, but death due to a firearm or death due to a gun is down. I mean, it's double-digit down, okay? As a matter of fact, the latest reports and statistics as far as deaths by gun violence is down 60%. 60%. So I have to give you guys a nod, and I didn't do it, but the Veterans Administration for providing a program that allowed me to get the benefits that I was looking for. But give you guys a nod, a well done, attaboys, pat yourself on the back. Don't get too big-headed, keep your eyes open and your focus. But 60% is more than half from what it was 2 summers ago. So that's good. That's good. So I just want to let you know that the series of events that led up to what I said yesterday and how it had kind of steamrolled and built its own head of steam, and I just kind of expressed myself. So that's all that I can think of right now to let you know that you're updated and rolling along, like I say, here in Lexington and probably in other parts of the country, to whatever degree Roots and Heritage is in play this weekend. And as I was channel surfing on the TV, I happened to catch Lester Holt's conclusion and sign off, which goes like this. I hope he doesn't mind if I use it. Be good to yourself and to others. That's it. Hashtag